Hey, so I'm back with another haunted attraction review, and I'm going to be talking about Bloodshed Farms. Bloodshed Bloodshed Farms is a fairly new attraction. I don't know exactly how long it's been around, but to my understanding, maybe about 3 years. I could totally be wrong with that, but it is fairly new. I do know that. And that is in, I think, Springfield, New Jersey, which is about 40 minutes from where I live. Like I said, I've never actually heard about this place until this year. And I always look up reviews about places, and it had mixed reviews. So I went there with some friends, and we went as our last haunted attraction for the season. Um, First of all, I could not believe that it was actually the last weekend of the season for them, and it was almost completely empty, which was great for us, but it was very surprising. It was surprising to me that a lot of the guests here I've noticed were a lot older. They were around my age. And if you don't know my age, I'm 29. I know I look young, but I'm 29. And a lot of them were around my age, which was very refreshing to see, considering when you go to a lot of these places, there's a lot of teeny boppers all over the place, which can get very annoying. But yeah, there was a lot of older people here, which was actually really refreshing. So first we started with the Trail of Terror. This line was the longest line we had waited in that night, which was about 30 to 40 minutes. Every single line except this one was nobody. So we went there, but the 30 to 40-minute wait was for a good reason. They only send you in with the group you came with. So I came with two other people. Came with my boyfriend and my best friend. So, which was great. I love the fact that they separate everyone, and they separated everyone with a good chunk of space between them, so you never really ran into the other group. So that was great. I mean, I love that about haunted walkthroughs that actually do that. I love that. One of the few haunted attractions I've actually been to that does that, where they actually separate you. The scares in the Trail of Terror were okay. There was a lot of dead space. I did jump a couple of times. They really need to fill in some areas of this trail with somebody else or somebody hiding out there in the cornfields, because at times you just kept walking and nobody was there, no prop was there, nothing. The trail was quite long. It probably took about 30 minutes for us to get through the whole trail, so it was a very lengthy trail, but I mean, there was a lot of dead space. After that, we went on the last ride, which is the hayride, and this was definitely the highlight of the night for me, which is actually very surprising because when I was reading reviews of this place, the hayride a lot of people did not like. I totally disagree. That was the best part of anything they have here. First of all, they have proper seats, which you can honestly say I've never seen before. You're always sitting on hay or the floor or something like that. Proper seats, proper benches inside this haunted hayride, which is awesome. And pretty much everyone that went on our hayride was saying the exact same thing. They couldn't believe they were sitting in a proper seat. The hayride was about 30 minutes as well, so it was definitely a good length. Once again, a lot of dead space. However, when they did scare, it was done very well. It was entertaining, it was funny, it was fun, with a bit of scare mixed in. I will say one of the best scenes on the hayride, they kind of did a take on The Purge. The Purge is one of my favorite movies in terms of scare. A lot of scary movies don't scare me, but The Purge gets me every time just because I think, like, what if that really happened? I don't know what I would do. But I love the fact that they did it. I have never seen The Purge done on a hayride, and I would never think of it to be done on the hayride, to be honest with you. So it was a very original, very very original, and I also love the fact that when you got out of the hayride, which I actually just realized, when you got out of the hayride, you kind of had to walk through this cemetery, and they had people like popping out and stuff, and I thought that was really unique. I thought it was unique then, but thinking back on it, I actually think it's a lot more unique because I just realized the name of the hayride was called The Last Ride. Obviously, if it's the last ride, it's your last ride. You're going to die, which is why we ended up in the cemetery. And I honestly never thought about that until yesterday. And I was like, wow, that actually worked really well. And I don't think anyone actually caught on to that. I know a lot of people were like, wow, why are we walking through this? Now I know why. So, I actually think that was very original as well. After that, we went to the Hell's Gate Asylum, which is a haunted walkthrough. It's more interactive. You gotten more involved with the story of the asylum. It had a lot of props, which worked. The inside was very creative and original. The scenes were done well. There's not much to say about that other than, I don't want to spoil anything in case anybody goes there, but it was well done and it was more interactive. You were part of the story. Lastly, we did the last attraction, which was Clownophobia. Again, very creative. Yes, it had clowns, but it didn't have what I would consider like really scary clowns, like killer clowns. It was more of like a scary, fun clown, if that makes any sense. It was the walkthrough was more of a maze than anything else, and it was very hard to get out of. Actually, the guys dressed up were actually telling us where to go because we waited. We were trying to find out where to go in this walkthrough for so long that I think they were sick of us. So they just were like, "Go that way, open the door." Like they were just done because it was taking us forever. But it was pretty different than anything I've ever been to before. So I would say well done with that as well. Overall, we had a great time. For me, I'm not sure if it's worth going to again. This could be actually an amazing place to go to with a little more work. And if they just got rid of the dead space in the trail and hayride, because I think really the asylum portion and the clown portion was great. It was well done. They can leave that as it is, and I think it would actually do very well. But for the hayride and the Trail of Terror, that definitely needs more work in terms of dead space. If they fix that, I think it would be great. It cost us $30 for all 4 attractions, which is great considering the length of the attractions, and it's a good price for this place. What I will say besides the dead space, the other thing I think this place really needs to focus on more so before the hayride is they really need to tell the people that are going into the hayride how to act. And that might seem funny to you, but when I've been to a lot of haunted walkthroughs and hayrides in the past, they usually have a list of rules. Don't do this, don't do that, don't touch the actors, don't do that. Do I think anyone actually listens? No. No, not really. But I think it's worth to have, and I think this place really needs to do that because when we were on the hayride, there were 2 girls on the hayride. They were all the way in the corner, thank God. But there were 2 girls on the hayride all the way in the corner, and they were on their phone the entire time, and I mean from start to finish. And as much as I was having fun on the hayride, as much as everybody else was having fun, because they were, it was very distracting. Not only for me, not only for the other people, but for the actors. You can tell the actors were really pissed off about it, and they should be. And they kept going over to them to try to scare them. And I think it was more of get off your phone kind of scare. I don't think it was to really scare them. But it didn't work. Put it that way, it didn't work. They were very annoyed by it. I could tell. But they just stayed on their phone. And like I said, I've been to several haunted hayrides and walkthroughs that, went through rules. And rules like this need to be in place because people who are enjoying it, like myself and like the other people on the hayride, can enjoy it and not have an experience ruined by these girls. And, my experience wasn't ruined, but it would have been a lot nicer if they weren't on their phone, because then everyone could really focus on what's going on around them than just saying, talk about these girls on the phone the entire time. And I think it's rude. The actors are trying to do their best, and you're trying to scare people, and you're on your phone the entire time. So that would be another change this place needs to do. In fact, if I was a tractor trailer driver, I would have stopped. I don't care if it was in the middle of the field. I would have stopped, and I would have told them to get off or to knock it off, and they will have to get off. and they didn't do that, and I really think they should have. Overall, though, this place is a good place, and it has potential. It really does. I just think a couple things need to be fixed, but I definitely do think it's worth checking out. I mean, next year, but I think it was a good place overall. I don't know if it was like the best place, but it was a good place, and I would give it about 3.5 stars. That's what I would give it, because I think that was 3.5 is pretty good for this place. But those are my reviews for this haunted attraction. The one before that is for Bane, and you can check that out. And I will put the link to this place as well down bar below. And I will see you next time. Bye.